Said when I said what I said on Twitter and try to provoke him like when people call him bitches, what I call him, a bitch. Provoke him to do something. Person like I'm a saint, I don't do nothing wrong if you gonna be somebody like do your little dirt and think nobody gonna get back to it.
Amid the chaos surrounding him, Gervonta Davis has finally decided to address the split between himself and Calvin Ford, revealing why his longtime trainer won't be with him for the upcoming Jake Paul fight. Gervonta claimed their problems began when Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis allowed the media to get into their heads.
The position that he's in is to wake the youth up because they have so much to give. But something and all the distraction is taking him away from it. And if you look at his last interview, he said, I really want to get away from them. I'm trying to get what I got to get and get away from.
They told me earlier this year that I don't pay them as well as other fighters pay their trainers, Davis said. That was them letting the noise get into their ears. He claimed that they abandoned him before the Lamont Roach fight because he wasn't willing to increase their pay. According to Davis, he treats Calvin Ford like a father, not just an employee. I give Calvin money all the time, he said. I sort his bills, get him cars, houses, whatever he wants. It's like a father and son thing.
Calvin too, I just saying. But that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that felt me stepped in that shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life.
He also added that Calvin Ford tried to return to camp for the Roach fight when it was nearly over, but he refused to let him back in. That incident where I yelled at him in the ring was because he wasn't in my camp. I didn't want him saying anything if he didn't train me. Tank explained on, and despite Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis later trying to deny the claims that Tank doesn't pay them properly, Davis said the damage was already done and he wasn't willing to continue working with either of them.
Go again. That's why I don't do interviews anymore, because they always take my word and misconstrue it. You know what I'm saying? When we was talking about individual, we wasn't talking about nobody specific. And we wasn't talking about Tank. Tank's my baby. Tank, Kenny said it. Out of 100, 2 of them love you. That's one of them that do love you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't.
Rumors had spread that Gervonta Davis's trainer hadn't been receiving payments for his work. However, Ford refuted the allegations directly during an interview with the Rise podcast. I'm not going anywhere, Ford said. I love my job, and I love who I work for. These statements contradicted reports of a professional split, making it seem like Ford was still part of Davis's team, without addressing the financial aspect in detail.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. He'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Similarly, other members of Davis's entourage denied any conflict and offered no further information about the alleged financial dispute. Kenny Ellis was more direct in shutting down the rumors. Stop this narrative about Tank not paying me and Calvin, Ellis said. Every time I worked the corner with Tank, he took care of me and he's going to keep taking care of me. Tank is family for life.
Fighter. We don't know where this stuff is coming from. It wasn't no reunited. They never separated. You know.
I guess it's because of Tank's comment, because he was asked if Coach Calvin was in his corner. He said, "We'll see."
Right, because it's nobody's business. But you know, he didn't mean anything by that. You know.
Facts. There you go.
They forever family.
Because you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't pull up with your team. You pulled up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right, because
I just seen Calvin.
Baltimore. We don't count other men's pockets, Ellis continued. I don't care if he's a billionaire. I'm not counting his pockets. Tank has always taken care of us, and he's going to continue to, so y'all need to stop that narrative.
Tank, real talk. Will Calvin be with you on this fight? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. Let's see.
While Ellis made it clear that Davis has always paid him for corner work, his statement left some uncertainty about whether Davis pays adequately during training camps when there isn't an active fight. This controversy comes just months after Gervonta Davis entered a training camp without Calvin Ford, and despite the team's efforts to keep things quiet, it's now clear that underlying issues have existed since early this year.
He's a grown man, and he has the right to make the grown man decisions that he wants. So let's get that. Put that up. Everybody's snatching something and don't even have a clue. And that's what I was saying about social media. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a person say it out their mouth, it doesn't mean anything.
What's going on with the Tank? What's going on with Tank, and are we going to see? And when are we going to see him back?
We got a little legal issue. As soon as they get through the courts, they'll set a date, and all we can do is wait. I don't get into the that side. You know what I mean? I'm just there.
This is the result of silent misunderstandings that had been brewing in Tank's corner since the build-up to the Lamont Roach fight.
I don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean? I don't know.
The tension began when Calvin Ford decided to shift his focus toward his younger fighters instead of Tank. There were multiple reasons for that, and it's almost common knowledge among boxing fans that Tank doesn't pay his trainers generously, though Ford denied those claims, several times covering for Tank by explaining they have a father-son bond, meaning he doesn't receive a salary but gets whatever he needs for, eventually grew tired of Tank's behavior and distanced himself from the camp. The issue was clear. Ford wasn't happy with Tank, so he avoided his training camp, while Tank refused to see his perspective.
Will Calvin be with you on this fight? Come on, you saying? Huh? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. I gotta see.
What do you think about the guy yelling in the back? Did that kind of get...
There was no major blow-up, but it was obvious things weren't the same between them. Then came the fight night drama, the breaking point that led to their official split. Gervonta Davis dismissed Calvin's advice mid-fight because he felt that since Ford hadn't been in camp with him, he had no right to speak up.
And he know when I go spend time with my piece, I'm going through things. You know what I'm saying? When he was there, at least I know where he was at. Because it was something that we didn't want to do. It was something that we know.
What happened in one of the later rounds when Coach Calvin told Davis to be more cautious. Tank snapped back, yelling, "Calvin, calm down and listen to me." A moment many in the boxing world viewed as highly disrespectful. One fan commented, "I pity that man. Tank is so disrespectful and rude he can't do much without Calvin." Another said, "If I had someone like Calvin Ford do for me what he did for Tank, I'd be forever grateful. He'd never lack anything." One fan harshly criticized Davis, saying, "Tank is wicked. I can't be cool with someone like that. He's an Ingrid after everything Calvin did for him. He still calls him his dad."
I was already paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so, it's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
Before their split became public, the official story was that Coach Calvin was merely taking a step back, while the training structure would remain unchanged. Reporters clarified that they weren't suggesting a full breakup or falling out between Ford and Gervonta Davis.
This question is for Coach Calvin Ford. This is Matt from Brunch Boxing. Now, we know that Tank has talked in the past about retiring, leaving the game of boxing. As someone that's had Tank since basically he was a pup and you've raised him.
They asked if the temporary separation made their bond stronger, like family members who spend time apart and grow closer afterward. "No, he came to see me dead, slow down, and worry about me because boom, he knows I spend time with my amateurs," replied Coach Ford. "You know me. Both of y'all know me very well. I spend time with my amateurs all the time. That's my piece." Even though he wasn't directly training Tank, knowing where he was and that he was still working gave Ford a sense of reassurance.
After tonight,
I like to see Tank to do what he want to do. I said at the last press conference. Y'all got to understand, them guys been doing it since they were little. This might energize them again.
Oh, yeah. In fact, he backstage right now talking about he want a rematch.
Mac, no, backstage you want to go to...
Hey, Tank, real talk. Will Calvin be with you on this fight? Come on, you saying? Huh? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. I gotta see.
What do you think about the guy yelling in the back? Did that...
Admitted that being away from Davis allowed them both to appreciate their bond. When he returned to the gym, Ford could tell the lightweight champion missed him just like he had missed Tank. A similar reassurance came from Barry Hunter, who continues to be involved in Tank's circle.
He will always be around, you know what I mean? So, that's Pops, like I said. So he'll always be near. Without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me, you know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the...
Stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest boxing updates. Until next time, peace out.